Hello, we are Day of Destruction TV. We are in Italy today, and we have the great pleasure to meet Nathan Corbett today. Hello, Nathan.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. What about you?
I'm going well, thank you.
So, Nathan, you are a legend. Yeah, I can tell this. So, yes, you were in the ring for 17 years. You had 59 wins with 44 knockouts. So, how was it possible for you to keep the level that high?
I think because like when I started Thai boxing, I come from a karate background, so it was always about the one hit, one kill kind of mentality of striking. So then I took that into my elbow strikes, and just every time the bell rang, I just thought, well, it's me or him, you know. So it was like kill or be killed. So I took it very seriously. It wasn't really a sport for me. It was more of like a real fight, and of course sportsmanship behaviour, but real fighting. So I guess that attitude and mentality is what kept me winning by many KOs over my career.
Yeah, but did you also have a life besides the ring?
Yeah, of course I had a life outside of the ring. I mean, I had a good life on the Gold Coast in Australia. I trained, but I never had anything in my home like watching fights or like trophies or pictures on the wall. I kept my home just like normal, so when I switched off from training, I could go home and relax. And I live near the beach, so I used to surf when I was younger, and then when I become professional, it was a lot more training, so I didn't surf so much anymore. But I sort of would go on holidays to Bali in Indonesia, which is only like 5 hours from my hometown. After fights to relax and enjoy the wins.
Yeah, you really enjoyed the wins because you had just 5 losses. So yeah. How was it to lose?
Well, actually, my first loss was not really a big deal because I had like 7 fights, and then I went in a tournament, so it was like 8, 9, and 10 all in one night. And my 10th fight, I lost because it was just a tournament, and I went to the finals and went the distance, but just lost on points. So I never really felt like it was a big loss because it was just a big long night of fights. And then I won like 30 fights straight, and then I lost. So that was hard because I was like 30 wins, maybe like 1 loss, like as that small loss in the beginning, and no real loss as a professional, as a world champion. I hadn't lost since I won my world title in 2003, and it was in 2006. And then I lost in Japan to a guy who was 20 kilos heavier. I couldn't get a fight, so I took the fight, and then I was winning, and then got kicked in the neck.
So, and you also took the challenge to fight Spong, which was not really your discipline, as I think. So it was under K1 rules, so you missed the elbow. So normally you did fight in Muay Thai. Maybe this was the biggest loss in your career, but it came afterwards, not in the ring. How did you deal this?
Oh yes, well yeah, the first time we fought, which is in 2009 in Jamaica. I was supposed to fight at 86 kilograms to defend my world title, but the promoter and the business people were really pushing me months before, like, can you fight Spong? Can you fight Spong? Can you fight Spong? I said, I fight with elbows, and I fight at 86 kilograms. I said, Spong's like 95 kilograms and doesn't fight with elbows. So I said, I can't fight him. And they pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and they give me some more money. And I said, okay, I'll do it. So it was 93 kilos, no elbows. So that was my first time fighting this big. And so in 2009, so I got the knockout that people know of, and then obviously I didn't hit. I made a mistake, thought they said fight on, and punched him again. It was a no contest. So that fight was kind of like not a loss, but not a win. It was kind of like an empty feeling, like a big achievement, but yet nothing achieved kind of feeling. So I felt like I never really got to sort of celebrate this victory. Yeah. And then 2013, Glory asked me if I wanted to fight kickboxing, and I didn't want to fight kickboxing. because I don't like kickboxing. I like Muay Thai, and I said to them, if they want me to fight, then they must match me with Spong.
Yeah.
So I actually asked for the fight. I don't know why. But this time Spong was like, he was at his best, and I lost that fight. So we now 1-for-1.
Yeah.
Boxing, of course, but he's a good man.
Yeah. Do you have still contact with him?
Actually, yeah. After my fight career was over, I guess when I finished fighting, that's when I guess there's no more like need to be like angry towards each other or anything. So we now talk because I live in America and he lives in America, so he's always asking me to come visit him, and he's super cool. So everything's good now. I think it was just the rivalry between Europe, and Australasia, and the two heads had to meet each other, and two lions had to fight. So
yeah, and could you describe the fight scene in Australia, in your home country, a little bit?
Yeah, the fight scene in Australia is strong. I mean, it's not as big at the current situation now as it was when I was fighting. Like there was a 10-year period where the fight shows were big and Fox Sports was on, everything was on TV, and it was just going super strong. So now in Australia there's not as many big promoters, but the amateurs and the fighters in Australia is still very high level, and it's all they love Muay Thai in Australia. Like every state in the country now is allowed to fight Muay Thai. Many years ago there was some states that didn't allow elbows.
Oh, really?
But now everyone's allowed elbows, so no one really fights kickboxing, like it's Muay Thai or amateur Muay Thai with no elbow, or amateur with pad. So now they're starting the kids fighting with elbows and making it real. So Muay Thai is a big scene in Australia. I guess it's so close to Thailand, it's only like 9 hours apart.
So, but now, as you told us, you live in America. And there you are with Lion Fight Promotions to do the commentary.
Yes.
How did this come?
Yeah, so I moved to America 12 months ago. And when I moved to America, I was looking for an opportunity outside of the gym, but still within the sport.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that maybe some commentary would go well. And at first, Lion Fight was not doing so many promotions 1 year ago. And then they contacted me. My friend messaged them, said that I was interested in doing some commentary work. And then something happened where they got a big opportunity with CBS Sports. So then they contacted me, can you join in and be the technical advisor, the color commentator. So I started in November last year, and now we're at Lion Fight 55. I started at 50, so it's going strong.
I'm happy to see you tonight. So what are your further goals in America?
So I had like a list of things that I wanted to achieve, which was like, okay, I'll go to America, I'll train some UFC fighters, I'll maybe like start a gym, do some commentary, maybe become a public speaker, actor, all these things. So
you grab what comes.
So I trained a few MMA people, and I'd done that already, but that's okay. I prefer Muay Thai, and now I'm doing commentary, so that's a tick. So now I'm looking at for my next opportunity, whether I start a Thai boxing gym and hope that. But I'm really hoping more for a lot more TV, a lot more media work. I had a long time in the gym, beating myself up, so it's nice to just like let everyone else do the beating up bit, and I can just talk about it. So it's good.
Yeah. So when you see all the young fighters every time in the ring, and when you do the commentary and you also make interviews with them, what would you advise them to come up to be a big star, maybe as you?
Yes, I think the most important thing is to really like be consistent with your winning. Which is not easy because not everyone can just win. But it's very important to never be cold, like hot or cold. So whether you win or lose, you still show that you're hot every time. So there's no like, oh, he was cold tonight, he didn't have a good night, he didn't fire up. You cannot have this excuse. When the bell rings, you must be 100% ready and 100% ready, like in kill mode. every fight, and if that means you get knocked out, but by trying to go for the kill, that's okay. But if you just always like this, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, it's not good. So this is, I think, the biggest thing that fighters need to understand, that if they want to be known and respected and seen, is that they have to always bring 100% to the ring, because we only see you 3, 4 times, 5 times, maybe a year. So it's not that often. So you can do all your work in the gym, it doesn't mean anything unless you deliver on the ring, in front of the fans and on TV. So the most important thing is to show up every time and have no excuse, whether you win or lose, but no excuse, to show fire every time.
So this is Mr. Carnage himself. So yeah, we are Day of Destruction TV. This is Nathan Corbett. It was a great pleasure for us. And stay tuned with us. Us.